some upper 40s around the lake. Then a good opportunity to get close to 70 for our Wednesday. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Looking to sell or buy in Huntersville or Lake Norman?
Hi, I'm Jeff Sny, owner and managing broker of Blue Oak Realty Group. Here's the truth. Your needs don't pause for the market. Whether you need more space, less space, or just the right fit, I'll help you create a smart strategy that makes sense for your family and your goals. With over a decade of experience right here in Lake Norman, I know this community, and I treat every client's goals like my own.
Call Jeff today or visit BlueOakRealtyGroup.com. Outstanding service, smart moves. That's Blue Oak Realty Group.
The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the views of WSIC.
Welcome to Community Centered, a show that features people in the community doing good things. Now, here are your hosts, Debbie O'Handley and Margi Kyle.
Welcome back and Happy New Year, my friend.
Yes, to you as well.
Are you still allowed to say that 5 days later?
Sure.
Yeah, why not? We'll be happy in New Year for the whole month of
That's
January,
right.
for sure.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm doing okay.
It's been a while since we've been here, a couple of weeks.
I know.
We hit the lucky button with not being able to come in here. We had Christmas right before, and then we had New Year's. So
How was your granddaughter?
she's incredible, fabulous, wonderful.
she is.
A dose of good medicine. We went up the day after Christmas, so that was my best Christmas gift. I unwrapped.
Oh,
was
I
my
thought she
little-
was going to come to you.
No, we went to them. They wanted to do their first Christmas in their
Okay.
home with her, so we were respectful of that. So we, Grammy and Grampy went up there, and we did all the things. I can't crawl around on the floor like I used
I
to.
could do it, but I couldn't get up.
That's a problem. And usually the day after Christmas, I'm in the fetal position after doing Christmas for 23 families at Hope House,
Oh,
which
my
is a
gosh.
big deal. So we were really, really blessed at Christmas this year with gifts from the Barstool Church. They came on board and blessed our families and lots of other organizations. So it was a joyous Christmas.
And did our gifts get used?
They did. The Christmas moose that you gave us got passed around, and we had 3 families move out right after Christmas. They all got their housing, and for a minute, the moose was missing.
Oh, dear.
So we thought he went with someone, but we found him. So he's settled in. He's going to have a new tribe coming up here. We have interviews all this week. So, fortunately or unfortunately, we have job security with finding families that need us. So we're ready to turn the page. We serviced 85 families last year. So
Wow.
a little bit tired.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just a little bit.
And-
But Happy New Year. Looking forward to a new year
Yes.
and our new guests and everything. It's going to be a great year here on Community Center.
Yes, it is.
Do you have a good holiday?
We had some family trauma,
Yeah, I heard.
and it just sort of shook me up more
We're
than...
gonna turn the page on that for you this year,
Yeah,
Margie. No
yeah.
more. We're gonna anoint you or do what we have to do to say no more trauma.
Yeah. Yeah.
Start off fresh.
Very sad. We lost a family member way too soon.
Aw, I'm sorry.
Yeah. And, New Year's Eve, I went to bed at 8:30
Atta girl.
and got up at 11:30, watched the ball drop, and thought, okay, everybody lived through this. I'm going back to bed.
We're going back to bed. 2025 was the year of the snake.
And
So
I'm
if you
terrified
think
of
about-
snakes.
Yeah, and you think about the year we had for 2025,
Yeah.
and it is all about the shedding and what a snake does and all that. So we are in 2026, the year of the horse.
Okay.
So we're going to charge ahead. Think
Yes,
about a
we are.
horse.
Oh, that's
It's a
beautiful.
right? It's a very regal, stately kind of animal and strong.
Yes.
So we're going to make 2026 strong for you.
Thank you.
Okay.
I appreciate that.
Well, you know what? I am a firm believer in putting it out into the atmosphere and being authentic. And so we're gonna put it out there, and where 2 or more, now there's 3 are gathered in His name, they say it comes true. So let's do
Yeah.
that for you.
Well, Little Smiles is growing so
I know.
fast.
You had a fabulous night for the boat parade.
We did.
And I saw pictures online. Colin did an amazing job. The videos were spectacular.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful night and a
It
beautiful
was.
sunset, too.
Yes.
And if that ain't nothing but Jesus shining down on you for the work that you do, I don't know what is.
Well,
So,
we have received so many gifts from the boat parade,
yeah.
from, people are just calling saying, I got a whole box full of toys. Do you want them?
Wow.
So Manny is coming to the storage unit today with a whole car full.
We had an opportunity to go to Smiles R Us a couple of days before Christmas for some last minute things for some families. Margie, it's nothing short of a miracle what you do. 3 storage full capacities filled, and we were shopping at the same time. I think it was Atrium. Some folks
Yes.
from Atrium were there who were intently choosing gifts. There's no other word but intention.
That's right.
Like they knew the
They
child.
come with a list.
Yeah, and it wasn't just like, oh, I want a baby doll and a jewelry making kit. They were like, oh, this girl's favorite color is purple. Can we find a baby doll with a purple dress on it? It was amazing. It was like being on a treasure hunt.
They came back again, too.
Did they really?
Yeah.
That filled my
And
heart.
Ronald McDonald House has been there, I think, 4 times.
Wow.
Now, we're Christmas every day of the year.
I know.
And they can come anytime.
But we'd love to put you out of business so that there's no children are
I
in
would
the
love
hospital.
nothing better.
Mm.
Yeah.
I would think so, that's for
Yeah.
sure. But thank you for what you do. It's amazing. And being a part of that at Christmas time was especially poignant for my staff and me when we were there, seeing all the fun things that we got to see.
Well, BC, before COVID,
Mm-hmm.
we used to have a special party for all the nurses.
Aw,
And they would come with their lists, and they could have a glass of wine and
nice.
a nice hors d'oeuvre and just shop.
Shop, how nice. We were able to get a bin full of Beanie
Yes.
Babies that we partner with an organization out of the Lutheran Church that makes tiny little quilts for these Beanie Babies, and they come in a bag that they make for the children who are living through something. So they have promised with all those Beanie Babies to make them for the kids in hospital too.
Oh, good,
So
good.
you're going to be getting some Beanie Baby bags here shortly from little sewers who are sewing away.
Well,
for sure.
and then for many years, we've been asking women for their wedding dresses. If why keep it in a box? You're never going to wear it again.
Exactly.
And what we were doing, because I was very involved with WCAA,
Mm-hmm.
and that's Window Coverings Association of America.
Mhm.
They would take that wedding dress, and we get free backing, and we made blankets for the babies who were really in trouble.
Oh,
And to wrap them in that special blanket was such a gift to the
beautiful.
parents. Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
I love that. Are you still collecting them?
Yep.
So if anybody has a wedding dress that they don't need hanging around, New Year, you're cleaning out,
Yeah.
contact Margie.
Yeah.
Get her your wedding dress and know that it's going to go to something really, really
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
What a beautiful thing to do. I'm thinking of mine hanging up in the attic, but I think my daughter played dress up with it, so I'm not sure it's got some life left in it. So 43 years later. No, actually it was my mom's wedding dress. So it's
been around.
It's been around, yeah. So I think that it's
and you have a
it's-
granddaughter, so you might as well keep it.
I do. Who's not real girly. She's a rough and tumble kind of girl. So we'll see. Yet to be seen here. She's only a
Well,
year.
I could, in 1 minute we have left, I can remember Mitzi, I was making all of her dresses. And when she went to kindergarten, every day she'd come, I'd drop her off at school with this dress I'd made. She'd come home with it in shreds. And I thought, okay, the heck with the dresses.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to the
We're going to go to
jeans.
pants.
Yeah.
We're getting ready to go on break here, but when we come back, we have a special guest for us today. What a great way to start out the
Oh
new
my
year.
gosh.
Talking about caregiving and the available resources we have. So get ready, get your pen and paper out because you might want to be taking down a couple of notes on how to get
Absolutely.
in touch with her or what the wonderful resources she has available. But when we get back from break, we'll be talking with her shortly.
Good news lives here. It's community centered with Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle on WSIC. Local starts here.
Well, after some morning fog, we should end up with a pretty nice afternoon. We'll call it partly cloudy. Temperatures should make it up to the mid-60s before we're all said and done. Pretty mild overnight. We'll fall back only to around 50, some upper 40s around the lake. Then a good opportunity to get close to 70 for our Wednesday. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Bob McIntosh here with the McIntosh Law Firm in Davidson. Serving this community has been a collective passion of our law firm since 1997. We offer the quality legal services and results you would expect from a large downtown firm, but with a personal, community-focused approach right here at home. The McIntosh Law Firm, your local legal resource.
To learn more about the McIntosh Law Firm, visit McIntoshLawFirm.com.
Here's your WSIC community calendar. The 500 Club in Statesville is ready to show you a great time with memberships, tea times, the Victory Lane Sports Bar and Grill, and golf lessons. Dial 704-872-9990 to enjoy all the fun that the 500 Club has to offer. Bin 110 in Cornelius presents live music along with their drinks and eats for a fun night out in Lake Norman. Visit bin110.com for the live music schedule, their bourbons, whiskeys, and cocktails, as well as their food menu. Petty Rewind is playing at the Kane Center for the Arts in Cornelius on Friday, January 9th. Doors open at 6:30 p.m. while showtime is 7:30 for a night of iconic Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers songs. Visit kanearts.org for tickets to Petty Rewind and for a full schedule of upcoming shows at the Kane Center. On Saturday, January 10th, the National Charity League Lake Norman holds a fashion show fundraiser at Charles Mack Citizen Center in Mooresville. An evening of intrigue masquerade fashion show celebrates community, purpose, and the class of 2027. Check out the NCL Lake Norman Fashion Show fundraiser Facebook event page for ticket information. Get behind the wheel and drive a NASCAR race car at Charlotte Motor Speedway by yourself. If you don't want to drive, go for a NASCAR ride-along. The NASCAR racing experience is as real as it gets. There's no lead car to follow and no instructor rides with you when you drive. Visit charlottemotorspeedway.com to book your NASCAR racing experience. From everyone here at WSIC Radio and Lake Norman Woman Magazine, we wish you all a happy new year and a strong start to 2026. Stay up to date and find out about local events, job opportunities, real estate information, and more. Visit liveworkplaylkn.com and sign up for the weekly newsletter. That's liveworkplaylkn.com.
Real people making a real impact. The McIntosh Law Firm brings you Community Centered, right here on WSIC. Local starts here.
Welcome back, and local is starting right here for the new year, something that we all have to face at one time or another. It is my pleasure to introduce Carolyn Dowdy, who is the president and founder of Caregiver Mental Wellness, a nonprofit dedicated to help parents and other caregivers prevent burnout. I have just gone through 2.5, well, I went through many years of caring for my husband. Mm-hmm. And I can see where burnout is just such an easy thing for the caregiver to do. Tell us what got you started in this.
Okay.
And a little bit about what you do. I cannot wait to go spend some more time on your website, too. So,
yeah, I'm looking forward to that. You're going to learn a lot about us.
Okay, yeah. So, how long have you been doing this?
Well, we started the nonprofit in August of 2023, but my journey as a caregiver started when I was 8 years old.
Okay.
Okay, I'll go back to my journey. When I was 8 years old, my grandmother got hit by a car. And so my mom had to work, like many parents do.
Yeah.
And my grandfather had to work. So for 2 months during the summer, I took care of her, and that's what we call in our organization a youth caregiver.
Okay.
These are the siblings that are supporting others. And so fast forward to my early 50s, both of my parents were ill for almost 10 years.
Okay.
And I was like in that sandwich generation.
Yes.
You know, we're taking care of elderly, we're trying to work, you know, sandwich generation is like you're taking care of kids and you're taking care of your parents. Maybe.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, but I was like stressed out. I lived in Atlanta that time. I was helping open banks. I was a banker in my previous life. And I was running an our way, what we call that's a distant caregiver, and that's adult child. It's like a part-time caregiver, which they don't usually label themselves that. You know, they say, I'm a daughter taking care of my parents.
Mm-hmm.
So during that 10 years, I was so stressed out from the responsibility of managing two ill parents from a distance and my life and my job that I didn't even feel like putting one foot before the other.
Mm.
So we went through all that, and then my parents sadly passed away. And then fast forward 10 years, my husband and I retired. We were on an alpaca farm, living the life, happier than I'd ever been. Had my hair all pulled back and delivering those alpaca babies, and we had family tours that come, and we had little mittens we sewed from their fleece that we had made by,
Oh, how cute.
And we were just living the life. So one night he come in, he sat down in the chair, I walked around the bar, came back, he's having a massive stroke.
Oh, my.
And I'm like, he's just throwing himself all over the chair, and he's hollering, and I thought he was playing with me. So I touched him. I said, are you playing a joke on me? It happened so fast.
Mm.
And then I looked at his mouth, and it was drooping.
Yeah.
So I called 911. They came there. They took him to our local hospital. They couldn't help him because he was on blood thinners, so they couldn't clear the clot out of his brain. So they had to airlift him to Lexington. And he went in surgery, and they got the clot out. But he couldn't read, he couldn't write, he couldn't say a lot of words, he couldn't talk very much then. He was just throwing fits because he didn't know what was wrong with him. You know, he lost his short-term memory, so it was hard for him to learn back his nouns. And so he was just mad at the world.
Yeah.
And during that first 3 months, I didn't get what I needed from the system. And that's what happens to so many caregivers. Like, you get out of the hospital, and they don't sometimes have a program to follow the caregiver. And then they get home, and I didn't know when I said 10 o'clock, he was hearing 12 o'clock. I didn't know his brain was hearing with aphasia. And he would throw fits because I didn't understand what he needed. And I didn't know if I was going to survive, and I didn't get what I needed from the system. Everything's so fragmented. I'd call, leave a number, trying to find out where's a support group. I need support. I need this or that. So I just started looking on the internet. And then all of a sudden, I saw, you're a family caregiver. All the time I took care of my parents, I never one time thought of myself as a caregiver. And caregiver burnout is a real thing.
Well, yes, it is.
So you've been through it. I don't know what your experiences are. And so I thought, I'm a caregiver. I'd never heard that label. And then I've read about a year ago that 50% of caregivers do not label themselves a caregiver, so they're not listening to the message of self-care, and that burnout is a real thing.
Yeah.
Well, we call that family, right? Family takes care of family. So you don't label yourself as a caregiver. You just say, well, it's my family. This is the thing I do.
That's what you have to do.
So, but now you have to realize that a family member is a caregiver.
Yeah.
As someone who's stepping through it.
That's
myself,
right.
so I know.
Yeah.
Right. So and y'all have walked it. And so at Caregiver Mental Wellness, we focus on, everything we do, our initiatives, is self-care to keep that caregiver standing. Whether you're taking care of children with cancer, a sister with cancer, you're taking care of an elderly parent, someone disabled, a youth caregiver. We have a program for the youth that are helping their parents, because they're at high risk for depression. They're falling behind in school because the parent can't focus as much on them because they're maybe taking care of a child on the autism spectrum, or they're taking care of their parent or their disabled vet husband. And these children are falling between the cracks, and we call them youth caregivers. And so that first year ignited something in me, and God put the pressure on my mind that I had to do something. And for 5 years, I studied about burnout, and then I figured out about how this crisis, which the caregivers that are our baby boomers, there's 73 million that will be 65 or older by 2030. we don't have enough people being born to care for them. That doesn't count. We're in an actual social crisis. That doesn't count children on the autism spectrum, 1 in every 31, 1 out of 12 are boys. Also, 40 to 60% of our kids have some type of chronic illness in the U.S., whether that's diabetes, asthma, cancer. We are actually in a social crisis. And so what we did, because of the stress I went through, it's like God showed me in 2023 what I needed to do, what He'd had the burden on me to study all this.
Yeah.
And what it is what our website turned out to be.
And
That's
what is
He
your
gave me.
website?
It's caregivermentalwellness.com.
I think, Carolyn, we could go so far as to say we're at an epidemic in
Correct.
a crisis.
Yeah.
We are
Yes.
in a space, and there are so many people that are unprepared. I would be one of them, right? I knew that I was taking care of my elderly parents. My dad passed, then I had to take care of my mom. I was unprepared for what happened or what that meant. Now, we took on the financial responsibility first, right? We'd take care of all the finances. Then I would take on the medical. Then it was like physical. Then it was like, oh my God, what am I doing? And I'm a busy executive taking
Right.
care of my job and my family. So I think being prepared, and your video system that you created is the greatest resource and tool this community could have. And if you don't think you need it, you're going to need it.
That's right.
Trust me, because I am a walking testimony to that. I
That's
thought, I
right.
don't need to, I'm not a caregiver. I'm not going to take care. And you are thrown into this because you are family.
That's right.
So the responsibility would come on family, right? You don't even question it.
No.
But then when it comes to being family and then caregiving, like a daughter should never have to change her mom's diaper. A daughter should never have to give her mom a these are the things as a caregiver you have to do, and you're unprepared.
That's right.
To do them. So kudos to you, and thank you
you.
for listening to that still small voice we hear,
Yes.
that's God, that thunders in us and says, this is my command. This is what I would have you do, because I think the more that this community is going to get to know you, they're going to understand how valuable the resources are that you have, and how heartfelt and emotional went into creating this so that someone else wouldn't have to walk through the nightmare.
Well, it's the
that
most,
you went
it's the
through.
loneliest feeling.
It is.
And unless somebody else has gone through it, nobody has any idea how lonely it is.
Well, I think, Margie, as a nonprofit executive, you are already a caregiver, right? To hundreds of nurses and children and
Yeah.
everything. So we don't think of that as caregiving and the burnout associated with that. The same with me, with homeless families. We don't think about that because it's just what we do.
Yeah.
Right.
We're caregivers.
You are.
But we have to, at some point, accept the fact that everybody's going to burn out at some time, and that we need an intervention
Yeah.
to be able to help us. Because what happens when we can't do that anymore? Who's
Yeah.
the Margie?
Yeah,
Who's the
gonna,
Debbie?
Who's going to step in?
Who's going to
Your
step in?
shoes.
Because
That's
we,
right.
we always say my mom would be screwed without us. So what would that look like? But I mean, I think that, I am so delighted that you listened to what God told you to do, because this community is going to need you. Especially those numbers are staggering.
They are.
And most people don't know the stats. They don't know how bad it is, and even its impacting our workforce. And we can talk about that later.
When we come
But
back
they're
from break,
losing-
let's
okay,
remember that,
they're
because
losing
that's
employees.
important.
Yeah.
That we're getting ready. Again, this time always flies, but we do have to thank our sponsors, the McIntosh Law Firm, for sponsoring Community Centered, and we focus on nonprofits and the why. Why would you want to do something like this? So
Okay.
we thank you for that for sure, but we're getting ready to go on break, and when we come back from break, we are talking with Carolyn Dowdy with the Mental Wellness Incorporated, a nonprofit organization, and she's gonna, if you have a question, you can always call 844-STUDIO-4. We're here to take your call.
Good news lives here. It's community centered with Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle on WSIC. Local starts here.
Well, after some morning fog, we should end up with a pretty nice afternoon. We'll call it partly cloudy. Temperatures should make it up to the mid-60s before we're all said and done. Pretty mild overnight. We'll fall back only to around 50, some upper 40s around the lake. Then a good opportunity to get close to 70 for our Wednesday. That's your forecast. The WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
Pizza's here.
Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Bob McIntosh here with the McIntosh Law Firm in Davidson. Serving this community has been a collective passion of our law firm since 1997. We offer the quality legal services and results you would expect from a large downtown firm, but with a personal, community-focused approach right here at home. The McIntosh Law Firm, your local legal resource.
To learn more about the McIntosh Law Firm, visit McIntoshLawFirm.com.
The WSIC app is available now wherever you get your apps, featuring local deals from great local businesses like iCats Public Transit.
The change of seasons is tough on your system. Dust, wear, and cold snaps test its strength. Let Horn Heating and Air Conditioning prep your home before the holidays, so your heat will be ready when you need it most. Fall into the season of ah. Visit hornhvac.com, where your comfort is our business.
Babe, dinner's ready.
Ladies.
Babe, dinner's ready.
Ever feel like your husband just isn't listening?
Dinner's ready.
Maybe he just can't hear.
Babe.
It's time to turn up the volume on life. Beltone in Mooresville and Cornelius can help with a free hearing test and expert solutions tailored for you. Call 877-HEAR-123 today. That's 877-HEAR-123. Don't wait. Call 877-432-7123 and bring back the sound of love.
Lowry Drug is a source for excellent pharmacy services. We have served the Statesville community since 1959. We have attentive customer service, a state-of-the-art compounding laboratory, and the Dispill medication packaging system that takes the work out of medication management for those using medication planners. We do it for you. Come see us at Lowry Drug in Statesville. Call 704-873-2247. Come see us.
The button pushing stops here.
WSIC. Local starts here.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Damage control for hotel giant Hilton Worldwide. Hilton says it has dissolved its relationship with a Minneapolis Hampton Inn following allegations that an employee there canceled reservations for ICE and other Homeland Security agents when they recently headed to the city. Hilton says it tolerates no form of discrimination. Hilton owns the Hampton name, but the specific hotel in Lakeville, Minnesota is independently owned. Meanwhile, the Department of Homeland Security may have not considered the weather in Minnesota before launching Operation Metro Surge into alleged fraudulent activity in that state's Somali American community. It's being reported that the department is now spending $85,000 on winter parkas for its agents assigned there. And in order to compete with United and Delta, American Airlines will begin offering free high-speed Wi-Fi to members of its loyalty program starting this month. American is pushing to overhaul its operations and improve its competitiveness after trailing both rivals in revenue performance. Erica Herskowitz, Bloomberg Radio.
Don't miss a thing. Download the WSIC News app today. WSIC. Local starts here.
Shining a light on who's making a difference. It's Community Centered, hosted by Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle on WSIC. Local starts here.
Welcome back. You're listening to Community Centered, and we have a fabulous guest with us today, Carolyn Dowdy, who is just checking all the boxes on caregiving for all of those who have been thrown into this incredible role. And so we thank you for what it is that you do. We were sharing during the break, again, a little bit more of your vision and what that feels like. And, you used the analogy of feeling like you were walking through water, but God was throwing you stones to get through the next stage and the next stage. That's what it feels like. But we weren't meant to do this alone, and we weren't meant to do this without resources. So tell us a little bit more about what Caregiver Mental Wellness looks like. What is it? Who are you?
Okay. Caregivers are anyone that's caring for anyone. What we do when we started Caregiver Mental Wellness is I see a lot of great resources for caregivers, but they try to be everything to the caregiver. There's a lot of them out there doing, feeding tubes, teach them this, teach them that, and they may have a small program or a handbook on self-care. And I know what I went through. So what we did is took all the things I've learned over time for my self-care, like the thing I learned in my 40s was if you can't control it, let it go. And I practiced that. So I took all of that. I did all my 5 years of research on things that are self-care. And we were 8 months old as a nonprofit. And we applied to CCME Foundation, which is Constellation Health. And we told them what our program was that you see. And out of 105 applications, it was my first grant I wrote. Out of 105 applications, only 14 got funded, and we were 8 months old, and God worked that out, and we got the money. That's what I'm talking about, is that He showed me if we did this for caregivers, that He would put the stones in front of us, and they gave us the money to get these produced, and we've got them up the end of October. We've been working on this project, 6 of us, for 14 months.
Wow.
Along with everything else with the nonprofit. And so what we do is we have a program called Parent Self-Care that is for parents that have children with special needs, such as on the autism spectrum or chronically ill, cancer, diabetes, or whatever. It's for foster parents.
I was a foster parent, yeah.
Yes, it's for kinship, whatever. So any parent, and actually what we teach in that would help anyone that wants to minimize stress and worry and help prevent burnout. Chapters 2 through 8 will help anyone that listens. But we focused it on parent because parents don't hear caregiver. I think I mentioned that. So that's why we labeled it parent, where they would know. And then we've got one called grandparent self-care. Yeah. And that's the grandparents that have taken on the primary care of their grandchildren because the parent's not there, they've passed, they're in jail, they're on drugs. So we have that for the kinship and the grandparents. The first chapter is addressed to the grandparents, but chapters 2 through 8 are the same as the one on self-care for parents because the concepts we teach for self-care are the same for anyone that listens. So they'll really help anyone. And then on the senior self-care, we made a program of the elderly, caring for the elderly. They're really struggling because they have health conditions. Like I'm elderly, I have some health conditions. I'm taking care of an elderly husband, had a stroke. And so that's addressed in that first chapter to the seniors. And then Caregiver Lifeline is just all others. You may be, taking care, you may be a sister helping with a sister with cancer. It's for everyone. So actually you could just listen to Caregiver Lifeline and it would give you everything you need. But I had to break them out to hear the label people will listen to because parents don't
Now,
hear
this is all
caregiver.
on your website. Is there a charge for this?
No, it's free.
Okay.
For those people that are listening, that the word self-care is new. Can you tell them, what does self-care mean?
Self-care is any way that when you start focusing on yourself that you take care of your mental well-being. So it can be, most of the time when we see self-care stuff, what do they talk about? Get a massage, whatever. This is more than get a massage. What we talk about is changing the way you think to minimize worry. We give you solutions to help minimize worry. When you start worrying about the future, what's going to happen, you get in that loop, people get where they can't sleep and other things. I teach you the routine that I go through to stop that. And there are ways to do that and control your thoughts, because we have thousands of thoughts all day long. And so what happens, this analogy I heard from a pastor was, it's like we got all these thoughts shooting in, thousands a day, and we've got these vines hanging, and we've got this monkey over here. And this monkey flies in, and he's going to grab different vines, and he's going to start that worry circle. Well, that worry circle is what? Draining our energy, and we've got to have energy to keep going.
That's right.
And get out of stress. And so then we start that worry cycle, and then it drains our energy, because we only have so much energy in our cup every day. So what we teach in there, if you go to chapter 7, is I teach you my routine of how I do that and the way I get out of it. These are the things I do. I'll tell you. I don't do them every day. But my routine is, one thing is, if a situation comes up that I don't have control of, I ask myself before I get involved in it, because I've only got so much energy. And I say to myself, do you have control of that situation? And if the answer is no,
let it go.
I let it go.
Yeah.
But you have to practice it intentionally, because we automatically want it. We're people pleasers, we're caregivers. We want to get involved because we don't want our kids to stomp their toe. We don't want them to fall in the ditch and crawl out. We want to teach them, say, hey, if you listen to my wisdom, you won't hurt as bad. So we get involved in adult kids stuff that we don't have control of, and we waste our energy like spinning wheels in the mud. So now I've learned, I did a month or 2 of this practice, and every time something come up that I was going to get involved in it, I asked myself, do you have control of that? Are you going to make a difference? If the answer is no, I'm not wasting my energy on it.
Yeah.
But it takes practice to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the things I do. Every day I do meditation, whether it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. You can go on YouTube all day long, get all kinds of guided meditation. And I listen before I had a support group this morning. I went to 30 minutes of Jesus meditation. And you can listen to Jesus meditation. It calms your nervous system. It puts you in the present. And see, the present is the most peaceful place we're going to be. Have y'all heard of mindful meditation?
Yeah.
And there's all kinds of meditations. You can look it up on YouTube. And we've also got some 5-minute meditations free on our website. So the meditation is so important, because you can't change the past. So what are you wasting when you're trying?
Right.
You're wasting energy. So I also ask myself, see, this is a lot of mind work, but it works for me. I ask myself, can you change the past, Carolyn? Are you really going to give up your peace today to rerun all that stuff in the past where people did you wrong, they hurt you, you got a divorce, you're mad at them, you want to pay them back? Okay, and Carolyn says, okay, I've got to take care of Morgan. I've got to take care of Morgan's caregiver. And I've got to run the nonprofit. And I've got to take care of me. Do I want to use my energy cup for that stuff in the past I can't control? And I let it go.
Good.
But you have to practice it. It's not just going to happen easily. Now, some trauma that people have gone through, they can't release it that easy. They may need to go to therapy to work through it. I'm not discounting what some people have gone through they can't get over, like they've got raped or really serious things. So that's one way I do it. And then also I ask myself, do you know what's going to happen in the future? Well, what do? We waste our energy worrying about what's going to happen.
You have no control over it.
And I saw a study where 91% of the time, whatever you worried about never happened.
Right.
91% of the time.
Wow.
So are you going to give up your peace today?
Yeah.
I live
things.
with a motto that says control the controllables.
That's
Only
a
the
great one.
things
That's a great saying.
that you can do. We have to go on another
know.
break. We're flying here. We are going to see you here shortly, back with Carolyn Dowdy here on Community Centered.
Spotlight and kindness, one story at a time. It's Community Centered with Debbie O'Hanley and Margi Kyle, presented by the McIntosh Law Firm on WSIC.
Well, after some morning fog, we should end up with a pretty nice afternoon. We'll call it partly cloudy. Temperatures should make it up to the mid-60s before we're all said and done. Pretty mild overnight. We'll fall back only to around 50, some upper 40s around the lake. Then a good opportunity to get close to 70 for our Wednesday. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here's your WSIC community calendar. The 500 Club in Statesville is ready to show you a great time with memberships, tea times, the Victory Lane Sports Bar and Grill, and golf lessons. Dial 704-872-9990 to enjoy all the fun that the 500 Club has to offer. Bin 110 in Cornelius presents live music along with their drinks and eats for a fun night out in Lake Norman. Visit bin110.com for the live music schedule, their bourbons, whiskeys, and cocktails, as well as their food menu. Petty Rewind is playing at the Kane Center for the Arts in Cornelius on Friday, January 9th. Doors open at 6:30 p.m. while showtime is 7:30 for a night of iconic Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers songs. Visit kanearts.org for tickets to Petty Rewind and for a full schedule of upcoming shows at the Kane Center. On Saturday, January 10th, the National Charity League Lake Norman holds a fashion show fundraiser at Charles Mack Citizen Center in Mooresville. An Evening of Intrigue Masquerade fashion show celebrates community, purpose, and the class of 2027. Check out the NCL Lake Norman Fashion Show fundraiser Facebook event page for ticket information. Get behind the wheel and drive a NASCAR race car at Charlotte Motor Speedway by yourself. If you don't want to drive, go for a NASCAR ride-along. The NASCAR racing experience is as real as it gets. There's no lead car to follow and no instructor rides with you when you drive. Visit charlottemotorspeedway.com to book your NASCAR racing experience. From everyone here at WSIC Radio and Lake Norman Woman Magazine, we wish you all a happy new year and a strong start to 2026. Stay up to date and find out about local events, job opportunities, real estate information, and more. Visit liveworkplaylkn.com and sign up for the weekly newsletter. That's liveworkplaylkn.com.
Bob McIntosh here with the McIntosh Law Firm in Davidson. Serving this community has been a collective passion of our law firm since 1997. We offer the quality legal services and results you would expect from a large downtown firm, but with a personal, community-focused approach right here at home. The McIntosh Law Firm, your local legal resource.
To learn more about the McIntosh Law Firm, visit McIntoshlawfirm.com.
Real people making a real impact. The McIntosh Law Firm brings you community-centered, right here on WSIC. Local starts here.
We just are having too much fun here talking with each other. We didn't know we were back live. Carolyn Dowdy, you do some trainings, and we also want to talk about one other video that you have on there, Speak Up for Teens. Tell us about that.
Yes, like in the beginning when I was talking about I was a youth caregiver for my grandmother where my mom could work with my grandfather. Also, you know, when children on the autism spectrum, a lot of time they will have other siblings and they help the parent. Like my grandson is 8, he's high-functioning autism. Well, my 11-year-old grandson comforts him and helps the parents with him, and that's called the youth caregiver. And so we had a UNCC during this program. We had them write a self-care program for youth caregivers, and it's for the parent to watch with the child or teen to open up the conversation of what their needs are, because sometimes they don't know how to verbalize self-care.
Go ahead, keep
They
going.
don't know how to verbalize self-care, and so we have that program out there that's free too, that Speak Up for Teens.
Great.
And then I wanted to talk about that Speak Up for Teens is a self-contained program that it doesn't really refer back to these e-learning videos.
Okay.
But when we do the workshops for the parent self-care, grandparent self-care, senior, and the caregiver lifeline, in that, when I'm teaching the workshop, I refer back to these 10 concepts. And when you start your self-care program, all these may not resonate with you, but what we encourage you to do is take one step at a time. Do one thing, get that down, and then start on the second thing because it's too overwhelming because it's a holistic program. But the things we cover is the importance of exercise, and these are short videos that you can watch. We talk about how important it is for nutrition. We go through mindfulness meditation, the definition, the benefits, and we actually show people talking and how to set boundaries, healthy boundaries to protect your energy. And then we talk about self-love. Now, why is self-love important? Why do you think?
Who is it that said, if you ain't going to love yourself, ain't nobody else going to do it?
Yeah, well, yeah, that's right. But a lot of times, the percentage says that 85 to 90% of people, this is a psychology that I got this out of, do not think they're good enough. You know, we beat ourselves up like I'm not being a good enough caregiver, I'm not being a good enough parent, I'm not being a good enough wife or whatever. And a lot of that is from that because we're people pleasers trying to do the best we can, but we may have a low self-esteem. We may not, you know how those negative thoughts come in?
Yeah, worthiness.
That's
right. It's a big deal.
And so there's a video on self-love because self-love changed me from the inside out. I only started really working on my self-love 3 years ago. And the reason I put it in the program is because if you don't have enough self-love and compassion for the caregiver or yourself, you're not going to set healthy boundaries.
That's right.
To protect your time and energy because you're going to keep moving the goalpost, giving your energy, and you're trying to pour from an empty cup. And it is not selfish to prioritize yourself. What I say is I'm responsible to take care of my husband Morgan's caregiver. And if you don't take care of her, no one else is going to drag you to the water and make you drink.
That's good, Carolyn.
Yep.
That's good.
And so then the next thing is we have the healthy boundaries. It shows you how to set them with people, and then communication skills. When you're dealing with your care recipient or loved one and your family, you get in a lot of arguments. If you have effective communication, it can minimize your arguments and save your relationships because what happens? You get mad, drains your energy cup.
Right.
You get in it louder, you get them upset, and then you are mad at them 2 or 3 days, and then you're worrying about it. Think how much came out of that energy cup. So we teach you effective communication, good listening skills. We teach you writing a gratitude journal, having gratitude.
Oh, biggest word in my dictionary.
Is working on that every day. Is like I could focus on I didn't get to travel. I don't have a healthy husband when I retired. I could really get upset. But what I focus on is, look, God has a plan for us. We're on that plan. God lets him walk. I can still get away from the house. He has a little health button he pushes. So I focus on all the positives instead of what I can't control.
That's right.
Good.
Yeah.
And then we talk about writing a journal, getting your thoughts out, processing your thoughts. That helps you stop that worry cycle. We talk about self-care tips like get a massage or things like go on a getaway. If you take a 4-day restful getaway, not taking the dogs, cats, and everybody else, I'm talking about a restful getaway. Research shows that it rejuvenates the body up to 45 days after.
Oh, wow.
Just taking a 4-day
Hear that,
getaway.
Margie? Where are we going?
Yeah. 2 friends go, and it's calm, and you just get away from everything. It rejuvenates you. And then there's a lot of self-care in there, information. And then we talk about 3 different time management programs, how you can set your calendar to set your day to help you save your time, because we talked about
you thought of every aspect.
Thousands of hours and
Yeah.
years, thousands of hours and 5, 6, 7 years, yeah. And so anyway, this all come together from all my research, and it's how I survive. Like I was going to a support group earlier, and I got in there was a wreck on 77, and I was like 2 minutes late. And before, in my past life, I'd be all tore up. Oh, God, what are they going to think about me? You know, I'm late and whatever. And, I didn't even glitch. And it's my training. It's like, well, God might have been protecting me for something. Oh, well.
Yeah.
And I just come in and said, I wanted to make my grand entrance.
Plus, it's 77, so you get an automatic pass on that. Everybody expects you to be late for sure.
So anyway, this is how it works. So I got everything out of my brain that I go around and teach and workshops, and got it with that grant money. We got it done. with
That
all
is
the-
that is a beautiful brain, and thank you for sharing that with us. I'm seeing here on here you can contact us at info@caregivermentalwellness.com.
Mhm.
That's info@caregivermentalwellness.com. If someone's listening and they have questions or they want to know something that they weren't able to call in, they can certainly go there and reach out to you to get some more information.
I cannot wait to get back into your website.
Yeah, and I know Margie and I said we want to share with some of our, Rotaries and other places where you would be a wonderful guest speaker to educate and advocate and advise people on how, give them a permission slip to take care of themselves.
That's right.
I think that's probably one of the biggest obstacles is that, sometimes when we're working with our clients at Hope House, we'll say, do you need a permission slip to go touch grass? Because you're a little overwhelmed right now. Just go on out and touch the grass.
Yeah.
It's that simple and it's free. You can do that. And most of these things that you've got on here are free things that people can do for themselves. Why is it it's the hardest thing for us to do something for ourselves? We can do a million things for others, but we are so resistant to do something for ourselves, but yet it's critical. Because I loved where you said, I am, what's your husband's name?
Morgan.
Morgan's caregiver. I have to take care of her. That you recognize that, right? As another aspect of yourself. So, Margie, you're the president of and executive director of Little Smiles. You need to take care of her.
I
So
do.
to give you a permission slip to take care of her for sure. But I thank you so much for sharing your valuable program here, your videos, your everything. I think it's just a vital thing.
The one thing I've always said to people is you're not alone. This proves it right
Yes.
here. You're not alone.
You can create
You can
community by
go-
watching a video.
That's right.
Which I think is really a blessing because this is a singular journey. This is an individual walk. Even if you're married or you have a lot of friends or a lot of family, you are still doing this by yourself.
You are. And people kept saying to me, oh, you've got so many friends. You don't need. No, you do.
You do.
You really do. Everything you've gotten right here is invaluable.
You need to know that you're okay and that you're doing okay with it, right?
And you're the only
this
one
is-
that can do that, too.
Heck yeah, that's
Yeah.
really a tough thing. So I'm delighted when folks like Reese, who are listening to this show, know someday he's going to be a caregiver. He will now know what to do in
That's
order to
right.
look for resources because, right, Reese? You're going to know. Yes, you will. Absolutely. And we hope that this reaches a lot of people that are struggling right now and saying, where do I go? What do I do? Who do I talk to? We've got a solution. We've got a resource for you. And thank God for Carolyn Dowdy that you
This
put
has
this
been
together.
amazing. Yeah.
What a way to start off the new year, Margie, hitting
I
it out of the
agree.
park here with someone who's really, now you're caring for our community. And I think that's a beautiful thing that you're making us all better because Lord knows we could use some betterment for sure with the year of the horse.
That's
We're gonna
right.
do
Well,
it
heck,
for sure.
yeah.
But again, any closing things you want to share with us? What brings you hope, Carolyn?
What brings me hope? Because I have God and faith, and that plays a big part. And that's another thing that I didn't complete that's in chapter 7 is I also asked myself, Carolyn, if you were worrying, you actually say you have faith in God, why are you worrying? And so I asked myself that question. My faith in God, and He's the reason this is here. I think He heard the prayers of so many caregivers because they need this information. And they can, when they go to that page on the videos, they can download a flyer to give friends and family, and they can email it to them.
Perfect.
So we need their help to get this to our parents and other caregivers.
Absolutely. Well, we thank you for setting our New Year's off just the way it should be with some self-care videos. We thank you for what you're doing in our community. We wish you much continued success, and I just pray that it continues to grow and that you get blessed with more grants.
Thank you.
You've been listening to Community Centered. I'm Debbie O'Hanley with my friend Margi Kyle. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
Great radio doesn't end here. Catch the full episode and dive into our archives on the WSIC News app.
WSIC 105.9 FM, 100.7 FM, 1400 AM. Statesville, Lake Norman's home for local talk radio. WSIC. Local starts here.